Thanks for staying with us on TV West. You're watching News Radar. I'm Victoria Ogudende. Here's what on the radar this hour. Osun State government alerts security agencies to fresh floods of violence in local government areas and motor parks. Ogun APC reaffirms Senator Yayi Adeola as its governorship candidate for 2027 dismissal rival Abayomi Unye's claim as false. In entertainment, remains of veteran Yoruba film actor Taiwo Azan Ogogo has been laid to rest after losing the battle to cancer. And in sports, Nigeria's second-tier league is set for a major shake-up, with the NNL adopting a two-conference format from the 2027 to 2028 season. We'll bring you the details of these stories and more very shortly. Now the news in full. The Osun State government is raising an alarm over alleged plans to ignite fresh violence across local government councils and motor parks. The government says any attempt to disrupt public peace will be resisted. Information Commissioner Oluomo Kolakbo Alimi says political actors and residents must shun violence. He says the state should now enter a period of healing and reconciliation. The warning follows reports of immediate post-election disruptions in some parts of the state. The government says the situation could escalate if stakeholders fail to exercise restraint. The administration says the election has been won and lost. It notes that the President Tinubu and Governor Adeleke has engaged on a peaceful way forward. The government is urging security agencies to enforce a return to the rule of law. It also wants an end to perceived partisan policing in the local council and motor parks. This comes after the Speaker of the House of Assembly accused the Commissioner of Police for directing a shoot-on-sight policy against anyone found within council premises. The Ogun State chapter of the APC has confirmed that Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adeola, popularly known as Yayi, remains the party's governorship candidate for the 2027 election. The party, in a disclaimer, says one Abayomi Semako Unye has been falsely presenting himself as the APC candidate. The APC says Adeola emerged from the governorship primary with over 304,000 votes out of about 305,000 accredited voters. He has selected Kudirat Adegunwa Balogun as his running mate. Both names have been submitted to INEC. The party is urging members and the public to disregard any contrary claims. It says official communications should only come from the APC or electoral authorities. Yemi Sanusi, the state chairman, signed the statement. He says Yayi is the duly recognized candidate for the Ogun governorship race. The Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has denied reports that he is supporting opposition candidates ahead of the 2027 general elections. The governor's senior special assistant on public engagement, Steve Otaloro, made this known in a statement on Monday. A media reports had claimed that Ayedatiwa had shifted his support from the APC candidate for Ondo South Senatorial District, Dr. Isaac Kekemeke, to the PDP candidate Matthew Oyenri Made. Otaloro described the report as false, mischievous, and politically motivated, saying the governor has never supported and would not support any candidate against those contesting on the APC platform. He said Ayedatiwa, as leader of the APC in Ondo State, remained committed to the party and its candidates. Otaloro also said the government has not authorized anyone to speak on his behalf in support of any opposition candidates. He further noted that Kekemeke had publicly dismissed reports of a disagreement with the governor, affirming that Ayedatiwa supported his emergence as the APC candidate and remained his political benefactor. Otaloro therefore urged APC supporters and the people of Ondo State to disregard the reports, describing it as an attempt to create division between the governor and the party's senatorial candidate. He maintained that Governor Ayedatiwa not support any candidate against the APC, the party he leads in the state. A fire broke out at Oronyo Market in Ibadan, Oyo State. The blaze started on Sunday night and quickly engulfed sections of the popular commercial hub. Flames and thick smokes were visible as the incident unfolded. Residents and traders alerted emergency services, tagging the Oyo State Fire Service as the fire took hold. By early Monday, photos and videos showed gutted sections of the market, damaged structures, and destroyed goods. The cause of the fire remains undetermined. No official statement with confirmed numbers of affected shops or casualties figures has been released. Firefighters and fire responders worked to contain the incident. Market fires are a recurring challenge in Ibadan and similar trading centers across the country. Investigators often link such incidents to electrical issues or dense storage of goods. Traders are now counting their losses and call for support. Authorities are expected to provide fuller details on the damage assessments and next steps. An inferno has destroyed 5 shops and damaged parts of a story building at Ita Amadu, Niger Junction in Ilorin, Kwara State. The Kwara State Fire Service says the fire started at about 1:36 p.m. on Sunday. The affected building consists of 3-bedroom flats and 10 shops, with 5 shops and the parapet damaged. The agency's public relations officer, Azan Adekunle, said mattresses and sofa materials stored in the shop contributed to the rapid spread of the fire. He said that the 5 fire appliances arrived to find the blaze fully developed, prompting the deployment of a second appliance. The Kwara State Fire Service, with support from the Federal Fire Service, eventually brought the fire under control at about 2:05 p.m., preventing it from spreading to adjoining properties. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The fire service has urged traders dealing in combustible materials, including mattresses and upholstery products, to prioritize fire safety and provide appropriate firefighting equipment at their premises. 7 people have been killed and 2 others injured in a multiple road crash involving 3 vehicles around Kara on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The Federal Road Safety Corps in Ogun State says the crash occurred at about 12:03 Monday morning. The vehicle involved were Owo CNG truck, a Mack trailer, and a Misty Bush center. According to the FRSC, all 9 victims were male. The corps says its Ibafo outpost received the report at about 12:04 a.m. and arrived at the scene 5 minutes later. Preliminary findings identify excessive speed as the probable cause of the crash, although investigators are still ongoing. The deceased were evacuated by the Ogun State Ambulance Service, while the 2 injured victims were taken for medical treatment. The crashed vehicle were later handed over to the Motor Traffic Division of the Nigerian Police Force in Ibadan for further action. The Ogun State FRSC Sector Commander, Corps Commander Oludare Ogunjobi, urged motorists, particularly drivers of articulated vehicles, to avoid excessive speeding and maintain safe following distance. He also advised motorists to exercise extra caution when driving at night, citing reduced visibility and fatigue as factors that can increase the risk of crashes. Ogunjobi commiserated with the families of the deceased and wished the injured victims a speedy recovery. The Elere Pamo of Pamo, Oba Abayomi Ogunmakinde in Orire local government area of Oyo State has backed Afenifere's call for urgent action against attacks and kidnappings targeting farmers in the southwest. The monarch, who spoke in Ibadan, said fear of kidnapping has forced many farmers to abandon their farms, particularly in remote communities. He appealed to the federal government and the Inspector General of Police to upgrade the police post in Pamo to a full-fledged divisional headquarters. The monarch said stronger security presence would help curb kidnapping and banditry in the area. His comments followed concerns raised by Afenifere over attacks on farmlands, kidnapping, and the activities of herders, which the group said were affecting farming communities across the region. The monarch also said the recent abduction of school children and their teachers had heightened security concerns in Orire and the wider southwest. The NDLEA has arrested a 101-year-old woman for alleged drug dealing. Esther Ogumabo was caught on August 15 at Ilasa in Ogun State with 19 grams of cannabis. She reportedly told operatives she turned to a drug dealing after fire destroyed provision shop. NDLEA chairman Buba Marwa directed that she be granted bail and placed on counseling due to her advanced age. Her daughter has been arrested. In Akwa Ibom, operatives intercepted a wooden boat heading to Cameroon. They arrested 3 suspects and seized over 40 kilograms of narcotics, including cocaine hidden inside a wrap of edible cassava fufu. The agency also recorded its first seizure of illicit drugs shopped from Thailand. 2 containers of cannabis indica were intercepted at Apapa and Lekki ports in Lagos. Their combined street value is over 4.4 billion naira. Other operations led to arrests and seizures in the FCT, Ondo, Kwara, Oyo, Kano, Lagos, and Abia. The NDLEA says its balanced approach of enforcement, prevention, and public education continues across the country. The Lagos State government has commenced the construction of 6 roads in Ajeromi Ifelodun local government and Ifelodun LCDA to improve movement, access to markets and public facilities and boost economic activities. The projects cover 1,835 meters of road and were flagged off with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by the Special Advisor on Rural Development, Nuruddin Agbaje. The roads include Asubiojo and Owoseni Streets in Ifelodun LCDA and Cemetery Market Road, Isikalu, Alaya Biagba and Odofi Streets in Ajeromi Ifelodun. They will be reconstructed with interlocking pavements and covered drainage systems, with solar-powered streetlights also to be installed. The projects are expected to complete within 12 months. Agbaje said the intervention was part of the administration's grassroots development efforts and aligned with the team's agenda, which prioritizes infrastructure and inclusive development across Lagos. He said projects would improve across the market and public services, reduce travel time and transportation costs, and support economic activities in benefiting communities. A prominent APC lawmaker, Opu Olusegun Onilude, is proving it's near too late to reach new academic heights. The seasoned educator turned public administrator added another feature to his cap at the Lagos State University. LASU, TV West was there and now reports.
The APC candidate for the House of Representatives in Badagry, Olusegun Adeniran Onilude, has earned a doctorate degree in education management from the Lagos State University. He received the honor during the university's 29th and 38th combined convocation ceremony at the Ojo campus. Dr. Onilude described the achievement as the climax of his lifelong career in teaching. He says he has taught at different levels of the education system, including primary and secondary schools, as well as higher institutions.
I've been a teacher all my life. I've taught in all cadres of teaching. I was once in primary school as a teacher. I was once in secondary school as a teacher. I've had privilege of teaching in some levels of higher institution too. So the climax of going into teaching profession is to get the Apex certificate, which is the PhD.
Be the proof of what this state university can think. I'll think and I'll build any institution anywhere in the world. Don't limit it to only LASU. Be the proof that the daughter of a market woman can run a boardroom and run it well. And the son of a board conductor can design an aircraft and design it well. The world you are entering will not ask where you graduated before it asks you what you can do. Answer with your competence, answer with your character, answer with your courage, and the world will learn to respect your gown. You have earned the gown today, let the world respect it. Serve something larger than yourself. Degrees can open doors, but only service builds your name. And wherever the tide of life carries you, either in Lekki or in London, either in Ajah or Atlanta, either in Lagos or in Johannesburg, remain worthy ambassador of this university, this state, and this nation. You are not just living with a certificate, you are living with a covenant, a true covenant that you keep with your heart, that you do your very best to mankind at all times.
Dr. Onilude is urging young people to take their education seriously. He says with determination and commitment, they can reach their academic goals at a much younger age. On his political ambition, Dr. Onilude promises robust representation for the people of Badagry constituency. He says his long-standing relationship with the people gives him a deep understanding of their concerns and aspirations. Onilude added that their pains, challenges, and successes will remain his priorities. He promises to ensure their yearnings are presented before the appropriate authorities.
The people of Badagry should not expect anything less than giving them a robust representation, because I am part of them. I've lived in their midst all my life. So their concern is my concern, their pain is my pain, their joy is my joy. So they should expect a good representation. All their yearnings will be addressed and placed at before the appropriate authorities.
Dr. Onilude is also calling on APC supporters to intensify grassroots mobilization ahead of the 2027 elections. He wants the party to learn from previous electoral experiences and secure victory in Lagos State. He commends Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's leadership, particularly his contributions to the education sector. Onilude describes the governor as humble, accessible, and cheerful. Family, friends, and political associates gathered to celebrate the milestone. They include the incumbent chairman of Badagry local government, Babatunde Nkpe.
Former Senate leader Ali Ndume has urged opposition parties to focus on President Bola Tinubu's performance rather than his academic certificates ahead of the 2027 general elections. Ndume, an All Progressive Congress chieftain, described the renewed focus on Tinubu's credentials as a distraction from issues that should dominate the election campaign. He urged opposition candidates to scrutinize the president's economic policies and handling of insecurity while presenting Nigerians with alternative solutions. His comments followed renewed concerns over Tinubu's E-C9 form, where the section for primary and secondary education were left blank. Ndume, who represents Borno South, maintained that Tinubu had met the constitutional education requirements for the presidency. He urged opposition parties to elevate the level of political debate as the 2027 elections approach. You're watching News Radar on TV West. We'll take a short break right now and return with more news. Stay with us.
You are watching the test transmission of TV West. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our social media handle @TVWestNG across all social networks. Thanks for staying with us.
TV West. Reporting the West, inspiring progress.
Welcome back to News Radar on TV West. Now to the rest of the news. Ekiti State in business. Ekiti State is chasing industrial and trade investment from Egypt worth about $500 million. The government says a recent investment mission to the North African country has opened doors for major commercial partnership. Agriculture Commissioner Ebenezer Boluware says the delegation met with more than 40 Egyptian industrialists and manufacturers. The talks covered agriculture, textiles, mining, and manufacturing. He says the state wants to build agricultural value chains where farmers have reliable markets and processors get the volume they need. Investment Commissioner Omotayo Adeola says the next step is turning interest into action. She says the state is focused on site visits, commercial agreements, capital deployment, and ultimately factories and jobs. Special Advisor John Ekundayo adds that success will be measured by employment, stronger businesses, and increased productivity. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has warned 31 companies to pay their signature bonuses or lose their provisional awards. The firm emerged winners of 37 oil and gas blocks in the 2025 licensing round. The commission says compliance with the payments process have already begun. Winners who fail to pay within the stipulated period will forfeit their bid guarantee. Their provisional awards will then be transferred to reserve bidders. The 37 blocks include petroleum prospecting licenses covering the Niger Delta onshore, shallow water, and deep offshore areas. Frontiers basins are also included. Successful bidders are required to pay signature bonuses ranging from $3 million to $7 million per block. They must also provide the required guarantees and pay 7 years' rent. A total of 143 companies participated in the licensing round. They submitted about 200 bids. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has expanded its free petroleum products delivery initiative to Kano, Imo, Anambra, and Nasarawa states. The refinery says the move will reduce transportation costs for independent petroleum marketers and create room for lower petrol price. The initiative, which initially covered Lagos, Ogun, Rivers, Kaduna, Abuja, and Delta, is aimed at bringing products closer to marketers and retailers while cutting long-distance haulage costs. Group Executive Director, Commercial Operations, Oil and Gas, WAEP, and Fertilizer, Dangote Industry Limited, Fatimo Aliko Dangote, said the initiative would help businesses and consumers benefit from savings in domestic refining. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria also welcomed the move, saying it would ease financial and logistical pressure on marketers and improve marketers' cash flow. The Dangote refinery, with a capacity of 700,000 barrels per day, continues to supply refined petroleum products to the domestic market. And on the foreign scene, oil price fell by more than $1 a barrel on Monday as investors took profits following recent gains and awaited details of expected new U.S. sanctions on Iran. Brent crude futures fell $1.16 or 1.23% to $93.23 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude dropped $1.55 or 1.78% to $85.51. Both benchmarks recorded a second consecutive weekly gain last week, rising by more than 5%, amid stalled U.S.-Iran peace talks and disruptions to oil shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. The strait, which has historically carried about 1/5 of global oil supplies, saw fewer than 20 commodity vessels pass through over the weekend. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is expected to announce new sanctions on Iran, which could further disrupt oil supplies from Middle East. Meanwhile, Morgan Stanley has raised its Brent forecast, projecting prices could peak at $100 a barrel in the fourth quarter. The International Energy Agency says it is not currently considering another release of oil from strategic reserves. And in entertainment, the Nigerian film industry is mourning the death of veteran actor Taiwo Azan, popularly known as Ogogo. The celebrated Yoruba movie star passed away on Sunday after a prolonged fight against cancer. He was receiving treatment at the time of his passing. He was buried Monday morning in his Ilaro country home. The news was confirmed by a close colleague who described the loss as a monumental blow to the creative community. Ogogo's death comes days after his daughters made an emotional appeal for financial and medical assistance. They revealed he had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. The veteran actor career spanned over 3 decades. He was a cornerstone of the Yoruba film industry, known for powerful portrayals of royalty, chiefs, and patriarchal figures. His deep, resonant voice earned him the nickname Ogogo, meaning gong. He mentored a generation of younger actors who admired his discipline and craft. A Chinese humanoid robot has run the 100-meter faster than Usain Bolt's world record. Tiangong Ultra clocked 9.39 seconds at the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing on Saturday. The beat Bolt's 9.58 seconds mark set in 2009. Another robot, Lightning, finished second at 9.47 seconds. It also beat Bolt's record before collapsing at the finish line. Both robots slammed straight into a thick mat designed to stop them. Tiangong stumbled wildly into the sidelines. Lightning had to be carried away on the stretcher. The results mark a sharp improvement from last year's game. Tiangong Ultra won the 100 meters in the 21.50 seconds in the inaugural edition. This year's game have drawn over 2,000 robots from 666 teams across 16 countries. China has promoted humanoid robots as a strategic emerging industry. Investor enthusiasm is growing, with shares in Unitree Robotics jumping more than 5-fold in its training debut. The game runs through Wednesday at Beji National Speed Staking Oval. And in sports, the Nigerian National League, NNL, will adopt a two-conference format from the 2027 to 2028 football session. Under the new structure, the league will have two conferences of 16 clubs each. The change is aimed at streamlining competitions in Nigeria's second-tier football league and providing a new structure for clubs competing for promotion to the Nigeria Premier Football League. The current four conference formats will remain in place for the ongoing session. Conferences A and B currently have 9 clubs each, while conferences C and D have 8 clubs each. The NNL says the transition will give clubs and other stakeholders time to prepare for the new format ahead of its implementation in the 2027/2028 season. And that's News Radar for this hour. I'm Victoria Ogudende. Thank you for watching.